Three, two, one. What's up, gamers? And welcome to the Save File Podcast, where like every video game character, every gamer has an origin story to tell. I'm your host, Line, and today's guest, I'm excited. As you see him right here, looking gorgeous as ever. And also, came from being a mixer partner, and now he's over here being a Twitch partner, doing big things. He's still out here kicking ass in the streaming game. Much love to you, man. I humbly and respectfully welcome the one and only Quanicus. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm excited for you to be here, honestly. I'm ready to pick your brain and ask a lot of questions to see what's going on up in there.
Let's get it. I'm excited to be here myself.
And plus, you're a funny guy, too, so.
I think that's an overstatement. Or understatement. Which one is it? I don't know.
Overstatement. Unless you're being humble about it, then it's an understatement.
Yeah, no. I don't feel funny. I look funny, but I don't feel funny.
See, there you go. So you're already starting. You're underestimating your powers right now, man. That's crazy. It works well though in your streams though. Like I love it. Like people love it in chat. Like you do it more than you think. That's what I noticed about like comics, I guess you could say. They kind of like don't realize the power of their humor, and it just comes out more natural for them.
Yeah, cool. It's not forced. I'm living in the moment. I'm reading chat. Really, realistically speaking, the chat is more of the comedians than I am. I just take what they say and amplify it. That's all.
That's all you do.
That's how I feel. That's all I'm doing. That's how I feel like.
You're feeding off their energy and just giving it back to them. Yeah, man.
Feeding off their energy and just giving it right back to them. And they think it's me, so I'll take it.
I guess, man. Well, first and foremost, man, honestly, I'm happy for you to be here. It's definitely a pleasure for you to be here, man. I'm ready. Let's get it. Let's get into it. So tell us about your first experience in gaming.
My first experience in gaming was back in 87. Yes, 1987, with a used Atari 2600 from a flea market that my father came home with. And I shouldn't be a gamer to this day because he came home with Pac-Man, I believe it was, but the game I do remember was E.T., which is by far the worst game in gaming history. Yet I played that game, I ended up loving it, and I've been here ever since.
Why E.T.?
It might have been 99 cents. I'm not sure why he came home with E.T. Plus, E.T. was big in the 80s, right?
Yeah, that's
E.T.
true.
was the thing in the 80s. So, I think it came out in 82. So 5 years later, it was still a thing. And yeah, that's what he picked up for me.
So what about it just like got you hooked?
I think controlling the character on the screen, actually knowing that I wasn't watching it, but I was the one manipulating it.
Yeah.
And all you were doing were going up, down, left, and right. It wasn't much, but it was me doing it, and I was fascinated by that thing.
How old were you?
I was 5.
Dang, you have memories from 5 years old?
I have memories only because of the pictures. Only because of the pictures. My mother would take a picture from behind me with the controller in my hand with the screen. So I remember from that, from the photos, how I remember.
Dang,
yeah, man.
So you used to split. So what other games did you get into besides E.T.?
E.T. and then it was remember back in the day they had these Tiger handheld games. It was just a standalone game that took 2 AA batteries.
Yep.
But it was just a handheld game, so it would be Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Those were, I mean, that was what really took me into gaming. I was like, dude, this is a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Like the first mobile device that you can actually have walking around your house. But yeah, it was. Those were the things in terms of gaming. And the other console stuff came on later on.
Dude, you're bringing hella I remember the Mortal Kombat one. You're bringing flashbacks right now.
Come on, man. I'm an old man. So yeah, we're gonna go back that far.
Not that old, man. Come on now.
We're gonna go back that far.
So I noticed you mentioned Street Fighter and just Mortal Kombat. Like, so you were just into fighting games after E.T. or what?
I played a little bit of everything. Double Dragon, which is another fighting game. I mean, I touched on everything. Racing games back then it felt like the car was stationary, but the scene was moving back to give you the illusion that you were driving the car. Like little things like that. I love playing games like that back in the day. So that's where all my love for gaming came from. Just the whole interaction.
Did you get into F-Zero?
I did. F-Zero was a Nintendo game, right?
Yeah.
Was that Super Nintendo, I believe?
I think so. Don't quote me on it.
I think so. Yeah, F-Zero was legit. Yeah, F-Zero was legit. I
Like,
remember that
as soon
game.
as you said the stationary thing and this, first things I remember was Mario Kart and
Mhm.
F-Zero.
Dude, I'll give you one better. There used to be, I don't even know what it was called. I don't know if it was Fisher Price or whatever it was, but there was this red device. It was like a box that had a small screen on it that had a steering wheel attached to it. And the screen itself was green and it had a little gear shift and you can drive your car. The car would just move left and right, but the scene on the screen would just move back and forth to give the illusion that you were driving the car. Dude, I might have taken it back way too far. You look super confused right
Yeah,
now.
I
He's
was just
like, dude, I don't know
no,
what that is.
like these little I'm digging in parts of my brain I haven't dug into in a while, so it's like slowly coming out. So
Yeah.
like as soon as you said that, I'm like, bro, like I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, man.
I've seen it somewhere.
Fairly old. I'm gonna have to look it up now that that's my first time thinking about it in a long time. So I'm gonna have to look that one up to see what it was called.
Yeah, I did. Can you imagine? How would you feel if it said classic?
Ooh, I might have to scoop one up off of eBay just because. You know what I mean? That's a part of my history, man. That's what
Yeah.
got me into the racing games at least. But yeah,
I'd be curious about how if anybody's even selling them or even how much they're going for too.
you can find anything on the internet these days.
I don't know.
Anything. So
You
we'll see.
think so?
Oh yeah, someone
be
has it
fun.
in their basement somewhere.
But is it on the internet?
Maybe. Maybe.
You can have it in a
Gonna have
basement,
to-
but does
we
that
have
old
some
lady know
homework
how
to
to put
do,
it on
right?
the internet? Yeah.
Yeah, right. We have to do some homework now. We'll see.
All right, man. Well, the first segment we're gonna get into, bro, is character creation. So basically,
Cool.
how baby Quanicus became to adult Quanicus to this day. So start with your
Okay.
gamer tag. So why Quanicus?
Why Quanicus? Quanicus is a combination of two things. My actual name, my first name is Taquan, Taquan. The It Kiss part, I guess you can say. I'm a huge fan of Spartacus. I've always been a fan of Spartacus. The old school movies, the books. But the latest Star Show movie, TV show, with Andy Whitfield, I believe his name was the one he recently passed away. I can't remember the name of the new character. However, at the end of the first season, after Spartacus saves the day, he screams out, "I am Spartacus!" And at that moment, I was just like, I just took the two names and merged them together. Before Quanicus, my name was Bless the Kid on Xbox, and then after that last episode of season one, I changed my gamer tag, and I've been Quanicus ever since. It was probably about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. That's where Quanicus came from. Taking my real name and then taking Spartacus and meshing them together.
It's very original, but yet creative. Spur of the moment, I must say too.
It was. It was spur of the moment.
So why? So what about the Spartacus movies? Got you into it? Like, are you just like into like the whole Greek mythology, like Troy and all kinds of stuff?
No, I just loved his story. Liberating people who were enslaved, right?
Okay, yeah.
Making an army out of that, and trying to redirect the course of how life should be. I was always fascinated by things like that. So he was a superhero, sort of, in some sense of the word.
You feel like you relate to it somehow?
I do, but not like on a global scale like that. Not like
Of
that.
course.
Within my home and for my children, yeah, I do feel like I can relate to things like that. Yeah, but not on that global scale. No,
Gee. All right. So where are you from, man?
I'm from Queens, New York, Long Island City,
How's it
Queensbridge, as they say.
How's things going on over there right now? With everything
no
going
idea.
on, man.
I've not been in Queensbridge for forever. Those are what we consider the projects, and your job growing up in the projects is to get out of the project. So I want to say that everything is fine. I haven't heard anything bad, but yeah, it's an experience it's an experience in growing up for sure. But I'm from Long Island City, Queens, New York.
So how was it growing up there? Share us your experiences.
It's not a place that you would want to raise your children. It's a different lifestyle. When you go ahead and explain like the things that I've never seen anyone get murdered or anything like that. But like when you know of people who have been in situations like that, that's so close to home and it happens so frequently. It's the older you get, hopefully your mentality is to get out and to do better. So, but I don't know how it is out there now. I couldn't tell you.
How did you get out?
My parents made sure I was educated and had the proper tools in order to learn and evolve as a human being and make something of myself in some sense of the word.
Yeah, you're pretty close to your mom.
I am. My mom, my parents, both my parents, my mom, my stepfather, my biological father. Yeah, I'm fairly close to my biological father, but my stepfather, who I consider my father, that's my dad, right? And my mom, that's a no brainer. I'm a mama's boy for sure.
Me too. It takes real mama's boys to admit that.
Yeah, man. Look, it's no shame in my game. One thing about me, I don't,
Facts.
my thought process isn't what other people think about me. Right? I got to live my life. But at the end of the day, once I turn this computer off, everything is gone. Whatever exists in this home is all that exists in my
Yep.
mind. So that's where I am.
So I want to touch base on this. I noticed you said that you're closer to your stepfather than your biological father.
Sure.
Why?
Because he wasn't there. That's just main. That's the main reason. Just that my biological father wasn't there. The older I got, the more I looked out, went out to seek him and try to develop a relationship. And that was actually about 6, 7 years ago. So it's still fairly new. Um,
Okay.
but he just wasn't a person who was capable of being a father, at least at that time period. I think he's a little bit better for it now, but back when he was growing up, immaturity, I guess, and making the wrong decisions for himself. My stepfather, on the other hand, came into my life when I was 4, and
Mm.
he is heavy into church, with Christianity, and he's an ordained minister, and so he brought a different perspective on life into our home, so that was much needed and
Did
well
you,
warranted at that.
so did you adapt to that new lifestyle that he brought into the household?
No.
All
I think
right.
I think
All
if
right,
I'm being real,
we're getting somewhere now. Why not? What
yeah,
happened?
no, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Obviously I had to go because it wasn't a matter of no, I want to stay home. It was like get your behind up and you're coming to church for 15 hours out of the day with us, right? But the older I got, the less that started to happen. I am definitely my father's child, my biological father's child, in the sense of just uh, not wanting to always be enclosed in the same space for so often, for so long. So I gradually drifted away. But I still have my beliefs and my faith, if that's what you was gonna
No,
ask.
well, I mean, we may step into that realm
Hey,
eventually,
I'm down, man. Let's do it.
but that's funny. Flat out, no, I like that.
No,
Straight to
yeah,
the
I'm not
point.
gonna lie.
What
Uh,
got you to? But like, what was? Can you explain the part of you why you kind of drifted away from that kind of lifestyle?
um, it it's funny. It's not. It has nothing to do with the faith itself. The church was just too damn hot. You can't have me sitting in the building with 85 other people standing themselves with like the whatever was on the list of church to be spoken about in church that day. It just was uncomfortable, man. I couldn't. I was uncomfortable. I couldn't sit there too long. That's all it was. I was like, dude, I can't sit in church for 8 hours and there's no AC, bro. No, it was like 90 degrees outside of New York right now. There's no way. No way.
But for real, 8 hours though.
Uh, as a kid, it felt like 8 hours. It might have been two, right? It might have
Okay,
been 2 hours. But as a kid, when you're told to not move and sit here and be quiet and focus, and focus on something that you want nothing to do with, in terms of you thinking about going outside and playing, right? I couldn't
exactly.
do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it. So it felt like 8 hours, but it was 2 hours, realistically speaking.
I did not expect. I did not expect that answer. That's
Hey, man.
great. That gets me to think too. It's like, how many more other? Wow, I'm not gonna see children the same at fucking church anymore. It's just gonna be like, y'all are just suffering right now.
Yeah, man.
Poor kids.
The kids don't want to be there. They don't understand it. They don't understand it. Right? It can give
No.
you a certain feeling, but to actually understand what's being said as a child, nah, you won't really get it.
You feel like you got it later though?
Yeah, 100%. I walk different today, obviously, than I did then. I think life is about progression and evolving. So life is about progression and evolving. So yeah, I do feel differently towards that than I did back when I was a child. Yeah, for sure.
So you said that you walked more towards the path of your biological father. What is that
Um,
path?
in the sense, no, let me fix that. In the
Okay,
sense
all
of
right.
the whole church thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
but in terms of who I am as a man, that is all
Mm,
based off of my father, my stepfather, who I again consider my father. So if I do say anything about my father in a positive light, that's who I'm speaking about. That's what
Really?
I'm speaking about. Yeah, but no, it
Jeez.
was it was definitely I would say who I am today is predicated off of who my father is as a man himself.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Jeez. All right. So why are you so close to your mom?
Um, my mom had me when she was 17, right? One of the things she never let us forget is the fact that she had us when she was 17, and just the sacrifices that she had to make as a teenager. Really,
Yeah.
I had my first child when I was 21, so understanding how hard it was, and it took some time, but understanding how hard it was as a parent. And I'm with my wife. My wife, my wife and I have been together for 20 years. So understanding what it's like to be a parent, as I started to grow up, once I had my children, it you go back and you think like this ain't easy, bro. Like being a parent, uh
Yeah, man.
being a black parent, it's not easy at all, right? So um as I got older, I started to grow a different, a better understanding of who my mother was as a woman, and yeah, so from 21 on for the last what 36, I'm sorry, but the last 16 years, the relationship my mother and I have with one another has grown tremendously. Just because I now understand what she was going through all those years.
How were you, I guess you could say, translating that as growing up, like seeing your mother going through everything she did and all the sacrifices?
Seeing her work, coming home a little later than coming home late. It's almost like you, as a child, you figure you are working more than you care to be around the house, right? But my mother was always hands on. She was always home. She was always like she would make sure we were always fed. But just uh, waking up in the morning, her saying, "All right, get up, make sure you get yourself together for school. I have to get out to go to work." So it's like, damn, I've been watching Full House and Family Matters. I've seen Steve Urkel or Laura's father, no, Uncle, what's his name, Winslow, come up and wake his daughter up, wake his son up. You got to get ready for school and make sure he's dressing his kid. I'm like, but that's all TV, right? But as a
Yeah.
child, you think otherwise. You think what I see there is what I want in my house, and that's unrealistic. My mother
Facts.
didn't sit
Yeah.
on the bed like Uncle Tanner did, or whatever his name was in Full House, and the music didn't play and was like, "Hey, Quanicus, I know I'm not going to be home for the next couple of hours, so And then it's like, "Okay, mom," and give her that shit didn't happen. So in my mind, I wanted it to be that way, but it wasn't.
When did you just started to realize like I guess like not the full reality, but really started to realize the reality of the work that your mother's putting in as a single mom?
I like to think it was well before I had children, but if I'm like consciously thinking about that was when I had my first daughter. When I had my first daughter in
Mm,
2003,
okay.
that's when I really understood, right? Like the crying and then not understanding why the baby is crying because the baby can't say I'm hungry or I'm hurting or my teeth are growing in, right? So you're trying to
Yeah.
figure it all out as you go along. There's no playbook for a parent. Um, and I think once my daughter started to get older and I understood like the things you had to do as a parent, uh, yeah, that's around that time is when everything started to shift for me in my mind.
So becoming a parent, what is some of the biggest lessons you learned reflecting on what your mother did for you when you were a child?
Patience. My mother had tons of patience with us. I'm the oldest of five kids. My mother had
Oh, wow.
a
Okay.
ton of patience. Like she understood each individual kid had their own with their own representation of themselves. Obviously, they had their
Yeah.
own personality. And she was patient with all that. She didn't try to group us all in one box and say just because you're siblings, this is what and this is how you should look at the world. It was just how that individual perceived the world, and she was willing to deal with that on an individual basis. And as that I can't say thank you enough for stuff like that.
What else did you learn?
Besides her being patient, her being self motivated and her determination to want to get out of the projects. Her waking up in the morning always. My mother used to say, I know we're not going to use profanity, or we can, but my mother used to always wake up in the morning. I used to hear her. My bedroom shared the same wall with the bathroom. sucks, right? So when people were over there doing the dookie squirts, I had to hear them, those bowel movements. But um, my mother used to always say, "I'm gonna f today up." Like I'm gonna whatever day it was, she would say, "Thank you, Lord, for waking me up," and I'm gonna fuck today up. And whether she did or not, I couldn't tell. I just always knew that the food was there was food in the refrigerator, the lights were on, the cable always worked, right? I could go into the living room and turn a cable on without it ever saying disconnected or please call this number to get it reconnected. So yeah, yeah, that's around the time when I started to understand those differences between what I thought versus what was.
When did you realize the strength that you needed to do such good parenting towards your kids?
Um, I I I learned that immediately. I knew that when my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, when she asked me to bring home a pregnancy test, I was like, oh shoot, this stuff is getting real. That's like the first time I've ever heard that. So I was like, oh, so I, kind of had a mild heart attack, I believe. If I had an EKG machine hooked up to my heart, it would have been
It been
out of
there, yeah.
control. Yeah, it'd have definitely short circuited. But yeah, man, it was when I, but what was your question again?
Like, when did you start implementing those lessons that you learned from your mom to your own
Right.
children?
But it was before my first daughter was born. It was during the 9 months. That 9 months of my wife being pregnant was I felt like that's when I myself was becoming a man. I mean, being 21 doesn't make you a man, but it's just certain character, it's certain things in your life I think that can qualify you as a man. And during those 9 months, I really felt like I was evolving as a human being during that time period.
So what do you think was the main factor of that? Well, besides, like, you have a baby on the way, but what exactly were the feelings you were having?
Um, the feelings I was having was that I didn't want my kid growing up in the environment that I grew up in. So I knew
Okay.
I had to put the pedal to the metal. Right.
Yeah.
I had not, and my mother and both my parents would say this. Even you got a child on the way. Now it's not the time to be farting around. Going out with the homies. Like you got to really set up a foundation for yourself. And although I wasn't living with my parents at the time when I moved out when I was 18, I was 18 going on 19. I moved out with my girlfriend who is now my wife. And but yeah, once we found out she was pregnant, it was my parents like, yo, Quan, now you gotta shape up. Before it was about you, it was about you and your girlfriend. You guys were
Yeah.
going out doing X, Y, and Z, but now it's not like that stuff can still be there, but it's gonna have to be on the back burner for now. And then it was in those moments where I started to utilize that information and I felt like I was evolving. Then I felt like I was evolving, which is quite an experience, I think, to understand that you're changing right at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your advice for people to change is to have a kid.
No, my advice for people to change, don't have children in order to evolve. No, that is not the answer. That is definitely not the answer. But I think you should understand your situation, understand where you want to go, and then understand, have your goals set, and
Yeah.
then know that if who you are as a person can lead you to those goals, then you don't have any evolving to do. Now you just
That's
keep
true.
moving as you see fit. But if you are a person who you feel like will not be able to meet those goals, wherever those goals are, then you need to take a step back and reevaluate yourself in order to meet those goals. That's how I feel. That's how I look at it. That's how I teach my kids.
And what got you to have this thinking, like you being a parent again? Going back to that.
And what had me thinking what?
Like, hey, you need to progress and self-reflect and do the changes that you need to do.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, we kept having kids. I don't know why the store was still open, but we just kept having children. So the more children we had, the more I had to evolve. I had to get better every time.
How many kids
Each
you
one of
got?
I have four kids, and
Okay.
each one of my kids are 5 years apart. So every time it was the fifth year, I contemplated abstinence for that year, but you know
Yeah,
that
I
didn't
know.
work out.
Yeah,
It
it
didn't work out.
happens.
So
We're
it happened.
humans.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, congratulations on you. Like, I really applaud you for the wisdom that you carried over, because there's a lot of people in the world that, you have two choices: you either be a victim of your circumstances or a student. And you're definitely proof that, you know, there are still students alive out there. So congratulations
100%.
on being a great father, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. So in all this going on, how did gaming come into play?
Again, it goes back to my upbringing. It was safer to be inside than it was to be outside. Luckily for
Okay.
me, gaming was I liked doing it. It was fun. I love going outside. I love playing sports. I love doing all those things. But you know, gaming could be 24/7 if I wanted it to be at those particular moments. So,
Yeah.
gaming came into place really because it was safer to be inside than it was to be outside. To answer your question.
Okay. So you started, what were you like, Xbox or, well, you might be Xbox. Well, Xbox or PlayStation?
It started off as PlayStation. Since that came out first, my parents were kind enough to buy me consoles as they came out. Couldn't afford a PC, so by the time we did have PC, I think we were on AOL like 97 or something like that. I don't know what it was. By
That
the time we had a
dial-up
household
internet,
PC.
yeah.
Yeah, man, it sounded like space aliens was coming at you just to get online.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say, well, really, it was my first console was Atari, and then it went on to Nintendo, and then Super Nintendo, and then PlayStation, Super 64, and then PlayStation. That was like the lineup. I never had a Genesis. I never owned one. I didn't own like a Sega Saturn, but I had friends that did, and we would just come over. One would go over there to that person's house. Someone would come over to my house, and that's how that all went about.
So from those consoles that you mentioned, what was some of the best memories? Which console?
And some of the best memories I had on console was from the Nintendo 64.
Hey, let's go. Yeah.
That is where gaming really. Before it was just you play Mario, you play these standalone one-player games or two-player games where you had to pass the controller.
Yeah.
The Nintendo 64 had 4 controller ports, right? Which meant 4 people can be sitting on the floor, on the sofa, on the bed, and 4 people simultaneously can be playing a video game. And the game that really took it over the edge for me, where I say, you know what, I want to just play games for the rest of my life, was GoldenEye 007.
Good answer.
4-player split screen.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that was I mean, the banter that happened between the friends, like the arguments and the love and the laughter that happened all in the same moment, all in the same night or the same day. That was absolutely amazing. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. But that was a definitive moment for me that took gaming to a whole nother level for sure.
Yeah, you gave me goosebumps just even mentioning it, because I have a lot of memories with my siblings too with that.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever play fun fact? Did you ever play Slaps Only?
I have not.
Oh, dude, what? Yes.
What is that?
It's one of the game modes in the GoldenEye. Where you choose
chopping. Yeah. Okay, I never heard it that way. Is that what it was called? Or you named
slaps
it that?
only. Yes. No, it says slaps only when you choose the weapons.
I did not remember that.
Yes, dude, that was
those were the days.
Dude, that was okay. So you must have played like Golden Guns only, right?
We did Golden Guns. We did Rockets only. I had a friend who committed suicide with the Golden Gun. How that happened is beyond us to this day.
Wow.
But
Love
yeah, I remember the slaps only, man. Just chop the knife hands.
Yeah, just like the fingers stuck together, just just going at it, dude.
The knife hands.
Yeah,
man, just chopping people up, man. I remember that.
Oh man, dude.
I remember that.
So
Holy
many
crap!
Bringing back memories, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Another fun one was lasers only too. You just use the laser gun.
Laser was good.
I like the sound effects, especially like when they hit them. Dude, they were really good with sound effects on that game, dude.
They really were.
It was amazing. I don't know if you noticed too, when you like play the game, this is why I thought it was funny, because I recently played it again for like a classic.
Really?
Yes. I have a legal emulator in my computer, okay? Legal. I play GoldenEye, and I noticed like when you're shooting the enemy, they'll do like a whole barrel roll. Like you unload a whole clip on them. They're like doing a whole barrel roll,
right?
And then when they finally stand up, they do like a half, like jump in the air, like a half turn and just fall. I'm like, yo,
right?
This is
it was like hilarious.
It's a whole fucking meme, dude. Yeah,
it is. It was just horrific, but I loved it.
Big head mode was actually, I don't did that a few times, but I did it for a little bit. It was funny though.
It was funny. It was gimmicky, but it was funny. Big head mode was definitely gimmicky. Dude, we played GoldenEye so much. It was a map called The Facility, where my boy and I played the game so much we learned where the spawn points were, and we would put proximity mines in the spawn points. And then when one person died, they would respawn and instantly die again, and the blood would just drip down their screen. Loved it.
Y'all
Loved it.
discovered trolling before it was a thing.
Yeah, man, there it is. We started that.
Jeez, dude. Good times, good times.
For sure.
Man, going back through memory lane, jeez. Crazy. So how'd you find so for the people that don't know, you were a Mixer partner.
I was.
So how did you find Mixer? Tell us about that journey of finding Mixer.
Sure. I updated my Xbox one day and it said Beam. It was just a Beam app there. I was like, what the hell is this? Clicked on the Beam app, and obviously it was a whole new streaming platform. I signed up for it. I started watching some streams. Never did I ever, even at that point, did I ever think about streaming. That was never a thought in my head. I just never understood the fascination. In my mind, it was just me watching someone else play the game, and I thought to myself, I can just play the game myself. But to get back to your question, it popped up on the Xbox dashboard. I clicked on it, and that's how I discovered Beam, which before it was Mixer.
So why did you start streaming on Beam?
So I started streaming because I don't know if you know Wolf B, but I was in the party with Wolf B. I was always in the Xbox party with the same group of guys. For years, we would just get on Xbox and just get into the party, whether we were gaming or not. We would be in the party just talking crap, doing what men do, just talking, beat each other down all the time.
Yep.
But the problem with not the problem, but one of the things that we always spoke about was like sports. And although I love sports, I just can't stand the conversation of who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And then the how much people are willing to argue that bothers me, right? It really bothered me. So I was like, you know what? Because of the Xbox party, I'm not able to go onto Xbox and meet new people. I'm locking myself out of in-game chat, and that's how you meet new people on pretty much on any online. You game with them. You might converse back and forth here or there, and then you strike up a friendship. But I was always in the Xbox party. So long-winded, I know, but so I said to myself, yo, I gotta meet some new people. And just one day said, I'm gonna start streaming. And that's really how it went. I was like, I gotta meet some new people, some new gamers, people who, I can hang out with and just have other conversations with. And that's why I started streaming.
So just to find friends. Just to find friends. Find new people.
Some new online friends. That was really it.
Wow, good story.
Boring as hell, I know, but it was really to meet some new gamers that shared interests. I didn't want to play Madden all the time. I didn't want to play NBA 2K all the time. I wanted to blow up things.
Halo,
you know what I mean? Halo, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to just destroy things, right? In the game, like in the context of the game. But
of course, yeah,
that's what it was. I just wanted to meet new gamers, new people. So
when did you started taking streaming serious? Like, how did it go from just leisure to like, all right, I want to make this into something?
This part is hard for me to say because it's a situation that even Mixer staff said to me was an anomaly, right? I started streaming September 3rd, 2017, and I qualified for partnership the same day the following month, right? It was wild. Okay. Like I went live and it was wild. It just took off. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, it was just crazy. And so understanding what was happening, I would go back and look at the vibes, look at the chat, look at the Streamlabs analytics and see, oh wow, we got this many followers. This is legit. And looking at that some weeks later, I would say the following month, I was like, you know what? We can do something here. And everything changed that following month.
Just like that.
It was a quick turnaround.
Jeez, man.
It really was. It was a real quick turnaround.
Especially how things were back in the day too. Yeah, it makes sense though. But like, well, why the long term though? Like, what keeps you motivated to keep streaming?
I like laughing, man. I like having fun. I notice, like for me, every time I go live, not every time, but 99.9% of the time I go live, dude, it's just a good time. I like having a conversation with the individuals that are in chat. it became a part of my life. And it sounds cliche, it sounds stupid,
Say
but
it, say it, man.
it
Say
really
it.
became a part of my life. It was like no different than, you know, putting your right sock on before you put your left sock on. It's just something that you typically do, right? And
Yeah,
however, whatever your habits are, and
yeah.
it just became a thing that I do, and that I've incorporated in my life. And at the moment, I don't see myself not doing it. I can't speak for the distant future. Um, but yeah, it was solely because it was fun. It was all about the fun. It still is all about the fun.
Yeah, every time.
That's the reason. That's the long term. That's really what is long term motivation.
Okay, so
Was that it was fun.
we did mention so you were from Mixer and you transitioned to Twitch. Tell us about your
Forcefully.
experience. Yeah, well, share your experience with that transition.
Um, last week was wild, dude. Last week
Yes.
was, you talking about like the ebb and flows of emotion. Last week was truly a wild day, a wild week. From Monday, being told that in 30 days from Monday you won't have a streaming platform to be on. Meanwhile, I've only streamed on Mixer. So like that to me wasn't scary. I wasn't upset that Mixer closed down. I was more pissed off that like the way it was handled, the way it
Mm-hmm.
was shut down, right? And
Yeah.
then like the analogy I've been using over the last week was Mixer truly felt, again, I've never streamed anywhere else. So Mixer truly felt like, now that I'm on Twitch, Mixer truly felt like high school, right?
Ooh.
It felt like I was learning some stuff. I was learning the trade in high school. Um, I understood, you know, what I was learning. I comprehended it, and then it was graduation time, which was last Monday. And when Mixer shut down, I felt like we were graduating. I was sad about the fact that everyone was going to be going to the displacement of my friends. Are they going to Twitch? Are they going to the college of Twitch? Are they going to another platform? That's what I was sad about. Now, to get back to what you was talking about in terms of um, my transition, um, dude, I couldn't have asked for a smoother transition. I
Ooh,
was
okay.
I was nervous. I would be lying if I said I wasn't. I was nervous, but I wasn't concerned. Um, 'Cause I felt like, listen, I'm willing to start all over. I'm willing to, you know, do everything that I've done in the past, and then some, to re-cement a new foundation.
Yeah.
Um, and the people who came over from Mixer, from the community, I mean, I'm extremely humbled by that. They still come through, they still show love, and then all the new people that I'm meeting on Twitch. The transition has been smooth, to answer your question, surprisingly smooth, and I'm forever grateful for it.
Did you think you were gonna get partnered on Twitch?
But the honest answer,
Of course.
yeah, I did.
Okay. Why?
Um, I believe I believe I believe what I was bringing to the table on Mixer. Um, I'm over here looking this way so I can think about my words, but I'm just gonna say it. I believe what I was doing on Mixer in terms of like the production that we were bringing, nobody was touching that shit. No, nobody was touching that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm not trying to sound I'm not trying to sound like I'm boasting. I felt like I was really doing something on Mixer in terms of bringing a different type of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Now on Twitch, I'm not saying that I know what that flavor would be on Twitch, but I felt confident within who I am and the content that we push out. I felt confident that, yeah, we're gonna be all right. And I didn't know it was gonna be as fast as it was. That I had no idea about. When I got on Twitch last Thursday, I said to myself and to my community, um, "Yo, we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna go for affiliateship, and then from affiliateship, we'll start transitioning into the partnership." So I knew it would happen. I just didn't know it was gonna be as fast as it was.
So how fast did it go?
I got evicted from Mixer on Monday. I got partner on Twitch that same Thursday. That same week on Thursday.
Man,
So
not even a whole week. Not even 5 days.
yeah, so that's what I meant by the whole ebb and flow of emotions that week. It was
Wow.
unbelievable, right? Like
Yeah.
we were at one point of the mountain. Mixer then blew up the Microsoft blew up the whole mountain. Everyone is falling, and lucky for
Yep.
me, I was able to land on a nice soft bed. or
like
mattress or
have
whatnot,
a soft landing.
Right? A soft landing, right?
A soft landing.
So the ebb and flows of emotion was absolutely. I mean, I don't ever remember a time in my life feeling those different levels of emotions all in the same week.
Yeah, can't even imagine, man.
It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough.
Yeah, especially like seeing it from like an outside perspective, just seeing everybody, man. It's just like it sucks, but it turned out well. It turned out actually better than I'm pretty sure anybody would have, like, especially you. It turned out a lot better than anybody could have anticipated.
I think for a lot of people it did.
Yeah, I
think for a lot of people it did. It was to go back on what we were talking about earlier. It was a blessing in disguise for sure for a lot of people.
I feel like it's a good point for like again how we were talking about before the show. Like it kind of forces people to do better in a sense, kind of self-reflect on their own brand and their own stream. And like what Moonlight Wolf says, like you bring a unique experience when it comes to watching a stream. And Twitch definitely needs more of that for sure. Twitch is something else. I'm just leaving it right there.
I'm still learning.
You still learn? Oh man,
I'm still learning. I'm learning the terminology. I'm learning everything.
One of the things I suggest is learn the history behind the popular emotes of Twitch. That's a good start.
Okay.
Yeah. You see those, and there's some good stories behind those. It's interesting.
That's what you see. Because I see them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all like actual real people in like certain moments, and once you actually look into the history behind it, it's like, so now you get it.
Because I'm seeing several emotes on Twitch, and I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
You're about to find out.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna take you up on that.
All right, man. Well, since we got a little taste of your character creation, my friend, thank you for sharing. We're gonna go ahead and set to the next part where you set your attributes. So with every character creation, you have a set of attributes. So I'm gonna name some characteristic traits, and you rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. And of course, chat, you're more than welcome to be involved and give your opinion on this too.
It's going to be all 5s, but go ahead.
All right, cool. All right. Maybe, yeah, okay. So first one, curiosity.
Sure.
Curiosity.
Yeah. My attributes for curiosity. I'm super curious. I don't know if I would have put it as a 5 or a 4, but I'm always curious. So I would say a 4.
What's stopping you from a 4 to a 5?
It say curiosity kill the cat. I'm not a cat, but I don't feel like going anywhere anytime soon, so I don't want to take it all the way to the top. And we'll just put it on the 4. I'm always curious though. I'm always curious to learn, especially when it's something that I never heard of before. I'm always looking to try to understand what it is and what it meant. So in terms of that level of curiosity, I would say a 4. Just always wanting to know and learn.
Reminds me of you discovering Beam. Just curious.
Yeah. Just curious. That's what, really. That's it.
Just a curious cat. Yeah.
Right. Like, what is that? But if I see a UFO, it's 2020. UFOs are coming. If I see a UFO, you won't hear me asking, "What is it?" I'm just gonna be running. So we should be good.
Why run?
Because I don't know. That's a good question, right? They're gonna just zap us anyway.
What makes you think they're gonna zap you though? What makes you think they're gonna zap you though? You know?
Will Smith said in Independence Day that they didn't fly 90 billion light years to start some trouble, and that's exactly what they did. So I'm getting the hell out of here, man. I'm
out. All right, we'll leave it at that. That's funny though. But damn, the sewers, right? Especially in New York.
The sewers, man.
You sure you want to go to New York sewers though?
Yep, I'm gonna be down there with the Ninja Turtles, man.
Which color Ninja Turtle? Which one are you? The blue.
Always New York. Yep. He was
that Leonardo, right? Why him?
He was the leader. He was the leader, man.
You see yourself as a leader?
I do. 100%.
What about the swords? You like the swords?
The swords, the weapon, the weapon.
Yeah, the two swords.
I have a sword right on top. Right, you won't be able to see it, but I have a katana hanging from my wall.
Now you're gonna need 2 to match the Leonardo.
True. You're right. Right. I have to get me one of those.
All right, next one. Start off slow. Integrity. Man,
that's important.
Agreed.
That's important. I would have to say, I would have to say 5, man. I think 4 is fair, but I would have to say 5. I think integrity is important. I think who you display yourself as is important. And in the sense of well, integrity, having people on like what you say should be your final word, and you should mean what you say, right? Shouldn't be
Hmm.
one minute you're here, the next minute you're over there.
Yeah.
Um, I would say five. I do think about it. I would say five, although I know it should be a four. But I would say five because I'm conscious of the fact that I may not be when I'm having a conversation with someone, when I'm conversing with someone, I'm conscious of who I am as a person and giving that other person the true sense of myself. So I would say five.
Why is that so important for you?
Uh, because that's all we really have, right? I don't want to be in a position of or be in a space with people who are one day they're this person, the next person they're this they are a completely different person, or they say one thing but do another. That kind of circle I don't like to surround myself around. Um, and I do, whether it be from my side about or another individual. Once a person displays a lack of integrity, I remove
Hmm.
myself from that space. And in the event that I happen to express a lack of integrity, I would expect any other individual to remove themselves from me. So yeah, that's where I am. That's how I've been for a very long time in my life.
It's a good answer.
But thank you,
Com-
man. I worked on that one. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Nah.
Confidence.
Oh man, this sounds like now you starting to reach into being conceited.
Yeah, said
I
we're gonna
think I'm
start off slow.
overconfident, dude. I think I'm
Nah, no,
no.
no,
I think
no.
once I know something is working, I don't know, man. Confidence. Ooh, that would be too conceited if I said five. But if I'm being real, I got to give myself room to grow. So I would say four. I would say four. I'm super confident. Um, but I also know that everything I try is not going to work. Right. I
Okay.
understand that as well. So that's why I can't say five. I understand there's always room to grow and fail. Um, so I would say four
So you're
in terms of
confident,
my
but you're
confidence.
not naive to the reality of the possibilities.
Right. That it might not work, that it may work. Yeah. And my confidence doesn't come from the fact that just because I'm implementing it or I'm thinking about it that it's going to work. My confidence comes from my determination and my motivation and my self motivation, my ability to understand what my goals are, and that same ability to strive and work towards those goals. Something my father used to always say, is another callback to him being a minister, is he used to always say, and he still does, that faith without work is dead. And what he meant by that was you can have all the faith in the world. You could pray to God that I land this job. But if your ass don't wake up in the morning, take a shower, dress appropriately, get up and go to the interview, you'll never get the damn job. So faith
Mm-hmm.
without work is dead. So that's what I mean. I understand that there's always going to be room for growth and or room for failure as well. So my
Mm-hmm.
confidence doesn't come from just having faith that everything is going to work. My confidence comes from my ability to work towards those goals.
Charisma.
Whew, that's a five. That's a five.
Why?
Um, charisma,
Yeah.
man. Like, just first of all, how many black people you know smile as much as me? Unless it's Chris Tucker or Kevin Hart, right? Like, just
Moonlight smiles a lot.
Moonlight does smile a
She
lot.
smiled a lot.
All right, we'll include her in that one too. Then Moonlight can be in that one too. Moonlight's my homie, by the way. I love Moonlight. No, I think my charisma is I think it's a five, man. Um, it's always joyful, happy, you know, motivating.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say five for charisma for
So
sure.
I want to touch on that a little bit because I noticed humor is a huge factor for, I guess, your motivation. Part of it is most of it's on your stream, but I don't know if you allocate that to the rest of your life.
I do.
But why? Okay. So with that being said, why is humor so important to you? Like, why you hold dear to that?
Um, I always feel like laughing, humor keeps you young, right?
Yes. Good
And
answer. Yeah.
I really do believe that. I believe that humor keeps you young. Look, I'm 37. I look younger than half the people that come to my damn channel, right? I
Yeah.
look young. I look. I've been stopped by truancy police because I was wearing a backpack. I've been stopped by truancy police a few years ago, and they asked me, why am I not in school? The police asked me, why am I not in school? I'm 30 at the time, probably 34, 35. You know, so I think overall, humor is a factor that I maintain in my life because I like being happy. I like laughing. I love laughing, and I love seeing other people's laugh. I love seeing other people smile. I know it's cliche. I know it's whack, but it's true, man. It's true. I'm not on here trying to walk this tightrope. Nah, man.
No.
Overall, man, I just love being in this space. If people are like depressed all the time and just always down, I find myself removing myself from that situation. So, humor is always going to be something that I contribute to my well being.
Yeah, the police officer gave you some of the. I guess that's like one of the biggest compliments you can get on your age.
Yeah, yeah. I said, are you kidding me, officer? Are you kidding me? What high schooler wears a wedding band? Huh? Who? Where is he? Show me.
Oh man, how do you feel? How do they feel after that?
He just said, "Oh man, my bad, yo. You're gonna have to." He did kind of diss me. He was like, "You're gonna have to get some Beijing for your mustache to kind of darken it up." He didn't say that, but that's what I thought after I left.
That's crazy. All right, next one. Let's do this one. Stubbornness.
Ooh, 5 being the great. Yeah, I'm pretty stubborn. My mother says it. My wife says it. So 5 being the highest.
Yes.
I say 4. I'm pretty stubborn. I think once I feel like I know something, especially if it's going to be if it directly affects me, that there's no way that you're going to knock me off that block. You're going to have to. I feel like people around me are going to have to really come at me with some sort of valid information in order to change my mind on many things. So yeah, I'm pretty stubborn. My wife is shaking her head right now, like yeah, you are right. Yeah, I'm pretty stubborn. I would say a 4.
Why are you so stubborn?
I think it's because I'm a Scorpio. I'm gonna put it on the astrology.
Oh, okay. So you're blaming the stars on this one.
Yeah,
okay.
Man, I gotta blame the stars and the moon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame it on that. Yep. It's because I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpios are stubborn. Final answer.
Final answer. Let's go.
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Oh man. All right, let's get a little deep here. Forgiveness.
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say I'm in the middle with that 3. Because I think it's circumstantial, right? It all depends on what I'm forgiving you for. If you dented my car, materialistic, who cares, right? If you cause harm to myself or my family, different story, right? I know that the world says you should forgive and not forget. But I say bump that. There's some things that I don't want to forgive and or forget. That's how I am, right? But if it's something minor, if it's something that we can talk it out. I mean, you can talk through anything, but there's certain things I don't want to talk through, right? Mental health. If you're trying to disrupt my mental health, no, I can't. There's no forgiving, right? Obviously physical. There's no forgiving for me personally. But I'm not incapable of forgiving. I damn sure won't forget though, but I'm not incapable of forgiving. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I would say a 3 because I the needle can tip either way depending on the situation.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, you do touch on a good spot right there about forgiveness. It's like the depth of the actions definitely reflect on what's going on here and what you do. Yeah. All right. Next one.
That's how I feel.
All right, let's go a little deeper.
Sure.
Spirituality.
Ooh, spirituality.
Yeah.
In terms of like religion, like faith, or like
let's start with this. How do you interpret it?
I would interpret it with like through faith, like through like for me growing up as a Christian, I would interpret it in that sense. Spiritually, I feel like I walk with God. If that in the Christian thing, that's in the Christian world, in the Christian faith, that's a thing, right? I feel like I always walk with God. But I don't know. I'm one of those people who I believe, but then I don't know for sure, so I can't be too sure. But Now, if I take a back seat to that and just say spirituality in the sense of being a good or evil person, um, I would say a 4. Right? That's a nice ass mason job, bro.
Thanks. Fits in my whole hand too.
Man, that water looked good as ever.
Dude, it was great.
I would say a 4, man. I would say a 4 in the sense of my understanding of it, like being a good or just a good soul or having an evil soul. Right? And I say I'm leaning towards 4. I'm a pretty decent human being. So there's that.
Pretty decent human being.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm the nicest guy in the world because I'm sure there's someone that's going to be like, that's bullshit.
So I want to touch base on something real quick. You said that there's like, you don't really believe it all the way. Why?
I don't know. The word faith, meanings. You don't believe in something that you believe in something that isn't so tangible that you can touch, that you can see, that you can feel.
Yeah.
The older I got, the more that didn't make any sense to me. Right? We're told seeing is believing. We're told you get told all these things throughout your walk in life. But the older I get, the less disconnected I am from it. But that doesn't necessarily mean I lost complete faith. It's just a lot of things just start making a different level of sense the older you get, and a lot of it, yeah, that's just where I'll just leave it at that. Some of it, you know what I mean? I don't want to make anyone upset out here.
Yeah. Nah,
but
I
that's
get
just
you.
my walk of life.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
I would say a 5.
That's quick. Why 5?
And it's a callback to what we were speaking about earlier when it came to my mother and what are some of the things that I love about my mother. Self-awareness is important. My mother doesn't let us forget that. My father doesn't let us forget that. And as a result, I don't let my kids forget it. Understanding who you are as an individual, not how people see you. How people see you is a whole different conversation. But understanding who you are as a person, I think, is imperative to that individual success or whatever, to their growth in life. Yeah, I think I would say overall, for me to be for self-aware would be a 5. Would be a 5. I'm definitely self-aware of who I am as a person.
All right, last one, my friend. Luck.
Sure. Yo, people don't understand how important luck, how real luck is, right?
Okay.
Luck is everything. Luck is timing. I don't have much luck. Like, I want to win the lottery bad, but I don't play it. So I guess faith without work is dead, right?
Yeah.
Luck. I had to put a number on luck. I would say 50-50. I would say 3. I would say luck, whoever plays Fallout and put all their attributes on luck, you a crazy person. I just want to say, I'm looking at you, you're a crazy person.
Never thought about that. All right.
No one does that. No one. I don't think I've ever seen anyone put the attribute of luck all the way to the top and leave strength, intelligence, down to a bare minimum, right? But I think luck is real. I would say 50-50, so I would say 3. I would give myself a 3 for luck.
So
I like to think that I make my own luck, but could be wrong.
What are some things in your life you feel that's luck?
The woman that I met in my life 20 years ago, and I'm lucky to still have her in my life. She can't hear me, so I can say this. Yeah, she definitely can't hear me, so I can say stuff like that. Yeah. Being with a woman like my wife, somebody who I can vibe with and chill with for all those years. Like, I've been with her since I was 18. I'm 36 now. 37. I lied. I'm 37. So I've been with her for a very long time. I do feel lucky to have a woman like that in my life. Right? She definitely mellowed me out. So that was a wild one.
Like, I can see you just like looking back at it like,
I'm like, is she listening to me? Oh, crap. I think she's coming on her way.
All right, next topic. Sure. All right, so you did your character creation. You set your attributes. Good ones, by the way. Good answers. Now, my friend, you're finally ready to go off to your main quest.
Uh-oh.
So what is your main quest in your life?
My main quest in my life.
Yeah.
My main quest is to, before I leave, that I want to know without a shadow of a doubt that all my kids are going to be just fine, right? That they
Okay.
that as a parent, as one half of the parent, I want to know that my kids are in a position to where they don't have to want for anything, that they can just I'm not talking about like in terms of what they can go out and buy. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, just they don't have to, wonder. They don't have to be concerned, and all those things are going to happen, right? But I want to make sure my children are well equipped for the world. I think is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That is my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to know that my kids are going to be well off when I'm no longer around.
Okay. So that's your main quest.
That's my
With
main
every,
quest.
so with every main quest, there's always some side quests.
Sure.
So what are your side quests?
I'm trying to figure out how I can get my wife to get out of this damn. I'm just playing.
Wow.
No, some of my side quests.
Yeah.
I think something that is fairly new, which is something I haven't had any thought of previously, but I'm interested. I'm in for the ride myself. I'm interested to see where this Twitch journey goes. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
That side quest is something that I'm curious about. So there's that number 4 in the curiosity.
Yep.
I'm just yeah, that's one of my side quests. Just seeing where this Twitch journey goes.
Anything else? I mean, there's multiple side quests,
For
so
sure.
yeah.
We're moving to Florida. We're gonna be buying a home. Well,
Hey,
that's
let's go.
already taken care of. It's being built. So us doing that. Although that's like a side quest that has a lot to do with the main quest, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, it's still a side quest nonetheless. So that as well, getting everything together, making sure our credit is good, all the financials are right, before we make that move back down to Miami.
So why
But that's
Miami?
another. Well, my wife's family is in Miami, and we lived there for 8 years prior to moving back to New York in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it, man. The area that we lived in was nice and chill. It's a great place to raise kids, at least in that area of Miami. I know some people don't necessarily think that to be true,
Yeah.
but that area of Miami that we were in was a wonderful spot to be in. So that's pretty much why Miami.
Anything else?
My wife's family is down there. I think I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Those were all real personal. Minus the Twitch thing. That's just me taking a step back and saying that's more of a hobby, or you never know what this hobby could turn into. But
Yeah.
that's one side quest. Like the other side quest, I know the outcome of, right? I know I'm in complete control of those other quests. Whereas on Twitch, or any platform I decided to go to, you're never too sure. So I don't think I have any other side quests though that I can think of off the top of my head. No.
So with
I think that
Twitch,
might be
well,
it.
just streaming in general, you just kind of ride in the wave and see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I am. Actually, I've always done that. People don't believe it, but I've always done that. I never said, "Oh, I'm gonna be a mixer partner in 30 days or in whatever, however long it was." Right? I never said those things. I was just like, when it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. Once I started to see that the numbers were all lined up for it, I pulled the trigger, obviously, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't working towards it. Just like I wasn't. What my plan on Twitch was to work towards that, was to work towards what we lost. But now that we have it, my goal is what it always has been. Is just to keep moving, keep going with the flow, and
Yeah.
I'm just really going with the flow and seeing where this Twitch journey goes.
Nice. All right, my friend. So you finished your main quest and you finished all your side quests and you reach your final boss. So what is your final boss that you wish to conquer? Yeah.
My final boss that I wish to conquer in life. I think I said boss, but like BAWS. I don't know how I said that. My New York
Boss.
accent is pretty thick, pretty thick. My final boss in life, or like on streaming, or like
Just life, man.
just life.
Your game of life. Your video game of
Man.
life.
If I had, I don't know. I guess like, having an out of body experience. If I'm, there's like it's all about my kids, man. My final
Yeah.
boss. It's just I don't know if it will even be a boss battle. I just want to see that my kids are. I want to see them marry. I want to see them grown and successful. So my final, I think my there is no final boss because I am still combating that boss. Right, my children are super young.
Mm-hmm.
My son being 21, and my youngest being 7. So I'm still combating my final boss. Um, and what it's gonna be a long way to go before we actually knock this final boss out, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, my daughter's 7. She's still young and oblivious to what the world is.
Mm-hmm.
But as parents, my wife and I, that's our job to redirect that, and not redirect it because she's young. There's no direction really, but just making sure that they have some sort of contribution to the world. And we're still tackling that boss. So that is my final boss. My final boss is something that I'm still messing with right now, still combating right now.
Is it safe to say that part of your final boss is just conquering time?
Conquering time.
Mm-hmm.
My
Prolonging it.
No, I wouldn't say it's conquering time. Because we can't, right? Time is gonna move regardless.
Yeah.
So in retrospect, in what you're asking, I don't mind fighting that boss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to rush through fighting the boss. Much like me playing Last of Us, I could have easily sat down and beat that game in 2 days. I want to let that thing marinate, right? I want to enjoy it. I want to understand it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about my kids. I want to enjoy my time with them. I want to enjoy who they are as their own individuals. And I want to see them grow to be fine young men and women. And yeah, so as a result, I'm fighting that final boss every single day of the week. Every single second, I'm fighting that boss.
That's a good answer, man. All right, man. So you conquer that final boss, and then it hits game over. What is the legacy or impact you wish to leave when somebody opens up your save file?
When they open up my save file, what do I want to leave behind? I want to leave behind an idea that this might get a little deep, but I want to leave behind the idea that not all Black people are out trying to take your purse. Not all Black people are trying to break into your home, right? I don't have these thoughts in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave behind an idea that there are Black men and Black females on this planet that are living no different than anyone else, right? I want to leave behind an idea that you can be around a person like me without any thought of something negative happening from me being struck down upon you. I want you to open up my save file and be like, you know, not that's a funny Black man. That's a funny man. That's a good guy. Sometimes he's an asshole. Sometimes he's stubborn. You know, everybody is that person, right? But I wanna showcase that not everybody who looks like me act like what is being shown on television. I think ultimately that's what I want to leave behind. And obviously, if my kids were to open it, hopefully I got some money I could leave them. But I'm probably gonna let myself get buried with my gold. So we'll see. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Such a good answer.
That's pretty
man.
much what I want. What I want. You know, I want to. And I'm gonna be honest. When I do go live, I have that in the back of my head. Not even in the back of my head. It's just a constant thought that when people come into the stream, you know, gamers are highly diverse. The gaming space is highly diverse. So you have your a-holes who want to be disrespectful, whether it be racism or homophobic comments. You know, that's the internet, and that's going to happen, right? But overall, if I can showcase a different side of my culture, hey, let's do it, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what I want to showcase. And that's what I actively showcase when I'm going live or when I am live. So yeah, I think ultimately that's what my save file would want. What I would want my save file to be is to let everyone know that people who look like me aren't isn't what's being depicted on television all the time. So,
it's a great save file, man. Love it.
But thank you, man.
Of course, man.
Hope it don't get deleted.
No, I won't. I'll make sure it won't.
No corruptions.
Nah,
I'm just messing around. I'm talking about the memory cards, man.
Yeah. Corrupted save files, yeah?
Yeah, we don't want any corruption.
Oh, man.
Files,
no. You ever had experience with those? A corrupted save file?
Yeah, 100%. On the PlayStation 2, The Xbox, yeah, those memory cards were trash.
I remember I dropped one Capri Sun on my memory card. It never bounced back. I was angry.
But how much of a Capri Sun broke your memory card?
Yeah. Well, because it spilled, got wet.
Come on.
Couldn't save
Did
it.
you cut the Capri Sun open across the top?
No, it leaked, bro. It just it leaked. It made a soft landing on it, and it just did its thing. And I remember coming. I think I know what it was. Now I'm thinking about it. I slammed my door because I was raging on a game, and I think it went. And then I come back. I'm like,
So what games did you lose? Do you remember that?
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, some Final Fantasy games. Yeah, I lost all that, dude.
I'm pretty sure you was upset.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure you were upset.
I don't remember. I don't remember. All right, man, dude. It was a pleasure for you to come on here, dude. This is the part where you plug in your socials, man. Where can people find you, Quanicus?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube at Quanicus, Quanicus, not CUP. That's a different person.
What about your Twitch?
I'm currently Quanicus _, but we are actively working with Twitch right now. Hopefully tomorrow it'll just be Quanicus, but at this moment it's Quanicus with an _ at the end.
Somebody really has Quanicus out there in Twitch?
Yeah, me. I just don't remember the email address and the password. It was like 7 years ago.
For real?
Yeah.
So you're fighting yourself on this?
I'm fighting myself on this, yeah. But they're working on it. It's pretty brutal.
Oh man, that's a good way to end it, yo. Dude, Quanicus, man, again, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your save file, man, your life. I hope when people watch this, they get a deeper understanding, not just about yourself, but the way how to handle life. Back again, like being a student of life, man. And again, I applaud you as being a man, a father, just an overall great human being, dude. Bless you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. I'm sorry it took so long, but I'm always all over the place. Those are my excuses.
Listen, I got patience. Okay, it's cool.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, man. So to conclude it, to end it, who are you and whose save file is this?
My name is Quanicus, and this is my save file.
Hey, let's get it, boys and girls.
Let's get it, baby.
All right, y'all.
Thank you so much
that
for
came
having
in,
me, brother.
of course. For everybody that stayed tuned in throughout the whole thing, thank you so much. I see the chat. You guys showing a lot of love and support, going in and going through that. Y'all made it awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out. We signing out. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, gamers, stay golden. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Deuces.